Welcome to today's video. It's a beautiful day outside, so I thought I would do some cooking outside for something different. Today I'm going to teach you how to make pie, but not a dessert pie. It is a beef pie, and it comes from the More for Less cookbook. More for Less cookbook is a cookbook that basically shares with you how to make recipes very frugal and with a budget. So let's get started in today's video. It is pie, but it's beef pie. In fact, it's actually called Colorado pie. This is a family favorite of ours. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some pie crust. Pie crust is something really simple to make. It's about the number one fundamental thing in cooking. As you see, this is flour that has been oven canned, and that's to keep the freshness. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to mix up the pie crust. So what is pie crust? It is flour, water, a little salt, and a little fat, which could be lard or butter, or Crisco, and we have bacon fat, so this is lard. First thing we're going to do is it calls for 1½ cups of flour. When you oven can flour, sometimes you're just going to have to go with your hands and break up the clumps. Sometimes it does that when you oven can flour to retain the freshness. The flour that we're using today was canned in 2016, and it is very fresh. And it calls for ½ teaspoon of salt. Salt is really important in your pie dough. And then ½ cup of shortening. It could be Crisco, it could be lard, whatever fat you want to use. About ½ cup. As you see, I'm not really measuring, I'm eyeing it up. Take either 2 forks or you can take a pastry cutter. I like a pastry cutter, but 2 forks do the same job. So we're going to just blend in the flour, the salt, and the lard together. I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of cold water. And we put a little bit in at a time. And we're going to keep mixing it until it forms a soft dough where we can roll it out. A lot of times people are really nervous when it comes to making pie doughs. But it's absolutely so easy. So we're going to mix it up. When mixing it up, you don't want to mix it like bread dough. You don't want to knead it a whole lot. You just want to mix it up enough until it's ready to roll out. The more you work with it, the more tougher your dough will be. And you want a good flaky crust. See how this is all coming together? There you go, my friends. It's that simple. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands, and then I'll show you how we make the pie. Alright, I have a pie crust that was already in the freezer that I want to use up. So this is the mixture. It calls for 1 pound of ground beef, and then it calls for about 1 pint of green beans. I don't know if a lot of you remember the video I did about 4 months ago where we took ground beef and we made a whole bunch of meal starters. What I did is I made that, and we're going to use that today. So what it is ground beef, a couple potatoes, a couple carrots, and then I added green beans and peas. To this we're going to add 1 can of tomato soup. And we're going to give it a stir. Now you don't have to have the tomato soup if you don't want, but that's what the recipe calls for. Now this pie shell is a little bit on the small side. So I'm probably going to end up making 2 pies with this, because this is enough for 1 9-inch pie. I'm going to fill it as high as I can. Yum, yum. So now we have to make the top pie crust. In order to make the top pie crust, I use this pastry cloth. Now this is really vintage and old time. You don't have to have this, but I enjoy having the pastry cloth. Take a little flour, and we're going to roll it out. As simple as that. The colder your water is, the better. Now I don't want to roll it out too thin, but yet I want to have it thin enough that it covers the pie. When you're transferring it, you want to roll it up like that. And then when you transfer it to your pie, you're going to roll it right back. Now you could take a fork and make a design in it, or you can just take your fingers and pinch it. Your pies don't have to look perfect, because it's what's inside that makes them good. And there you go. There is our beef pie. I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 for about an hour until the pie crust is brown. All of the ingredients inside the pie are actually cooked. So all we have to do is bake it until it's finished. So let's get the pie out. So this is what the pie looks like. Hubby is ready to eat. Really, really hot. See if I can cut it that you can see everything. Take a look at that yummy goodness. See that? Let me see if I can show you what it looks like inside. Take a look at that. Very, very good. It's very filling. This brings back a lot of memories. When I was a young mom, I used to make this a lot. And there you go, my friends. Colorado pie with a little bit of a twist to it. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Here are the videos that I mentioned in this video. We have the bulk ground beef video. How about learning to oven can flour and other foods? And of course, if you're interested in the cookbook, I have the More for Less cookbook in the description box below. Remember, the description box below is where you're going to find all kinds of products and all kinds of other information that I have to share with all of you. I can't wait to share with you some more cooking videos coming up real soon, and they're going to be outside as well.